Okay, so today we're going to talk about training cycle results ending kind of like in September, but it's a little bit more complicated. Just real quick rundown of like kind of how everything went wrong a little bit is that I was set to max out the end of September. I got sick. I needed to hit it all before October because I was going to go to a wedding and like do a bunch of stuff and like it was gonna I wanted to max out before then, but between getting sick and then also having this deadline to leave, I wasn't able to max out on everything, and also my peaking was like just all kinds of messed up. I didn't get a lot of 102% days in, which is what I was going for, where I would go for 102% on a lot of the lifts, have a deload, and then go for a full max. But the my peaks are just always terrible, so it's just kind of like par of the course. Going into this, I had had a lot of. I had predicted what I would be hit for everything, and so let's just jump into the lifts and what I thought I would get, what I got, what I thought. So first up is the snatch. I only thought I was going to snatch 205. I've been kind of bummed out about snatch in general. Not having a lot of luck with it and doing quite poorly, but somehow I managed to pull out 215, and I didn't do 215 like when I was nice and peaked. It was after I came back in October, like kind of a couple weeks into October. I just like decided to go to the gym and kind of send it, even though I hadn't snatched in 3 weeks, and somehow I managed to hit, one of the heaviest snatches I've hit in quite a long time in 215, and it actually felt really good. I'm actually pretty proud of this snatch. In terms of form, it like looks better than my form looks normally. My form's not all that great as far as the Olympic lifts go because I have to train a bunch of different stuff, and I'm like not, I guess, the hyper like competitive athlete. So I was pretty happy with this one. Let's move into the clean and jerk. The clean and jerk was actually the one I was most excited about and predicting I was going to do quite well in. I thought I would do maybe 325, but 315 plus, and what I ended up hitting was 305. Here's the 305, and I think one of the problems is I didn't get the 102% day, so I really wanted to go for 320 and then be able to kind of push it afterwards. And what ended up happening is on Maxout day, I went for 310. I got it up. I cleaned it, and then I jerked it like real high, but I stepped forward before I was done, like before I had stabilized the lift, and I just like lost it at the top, even though it was definitely like high enough. And so just like a lack of discipline on my part is why I missed the 310, and then I decided to go up anyways, because that's kind of how I roll. I don't want to accumulate too much fatigue, so even if I miss a warm-up, I'll just keep going up. And I also skipped my current max of 315 to go for 320, and then I hit the clean on the 320, but I miss on the jerk, and here it is. So this is also like kind of one of the biggest struggling cleans I've had. I think I stepped my left foot forward a little bit on the clean, which is like why I get into trouble in the first place, but I managed to recover it. But now here I'm really tired, and I never would know what to do when I'm this tired, if I'm supposed to just try and jerk immediately because I'm going to get more fatigued, or if I'm supposed to try and recover. I tried to recover, and there was just no way. And, it's... I think it's a situation where no matter what you do, you're going to miss the lift, but I always feel like an idiot because I feel like I should have done the other thing, whether I should have jerked immediately or tried to rest. But yeah, there's just, after that, clean, there's no way. I really thought I was going to do really well on the clean and jerk, and then I ended up like kind of bombing out. Let's have it one more time. And there's the bomb. Okay, next up is the squat. I tore my quad in October, and then in February I tweaked my hip, and so I hadn't been able to really squat heavy until recently. And my heaviest squat ever before that was 620, but I thought I was going to hit 650 going into this, and I was correct. I did hit 650, and I've just been really happy. I tore my quad on 635. I was really confident I could squat 635 then, and so obviously I hurt myself, so that's why I miss. But then to come back, and squat's my favorite lift, and come back and just bink 650, it felt really good. I was feeling pretty down about the training cycle as a whole, because I think I started with the clean and jerk and the bench, and like those turned out badly, and I was like, oh, just another max out cycle that's not going so well. And then, you know, squat was a nice pick me up, so was the other things. And so yeah, let's take a look at the next one. So for bench press, I predicted I would hit 350, and then I ended up hitting 345, a little bit under what I thought I would hit, but this was a new PR. I was pretty close to hitting 350 as well. I actually have this weird sort of struggle on bench where, how should I put this? My like hamstring cramps up like every time I go to max out on bench, so I only get like 2 really good attempts before my hamstring cramps up, and I don't know the best way to train so that this doesn't happen. I've thought about maybe just having to do a lot of glute bridging and like kind of just maintaining tension at the top, or like hip thrusters, like this sort of thing. I don't know the best way to train it. I don't know the best way to resolve this sort of thing, and so but like, I feel like I'm gated by the fact that my hamstring cramps up every time I max out, which is like kind of what happened this max out as well. But I managed to hit a 5-pound PR, so that's nice. For the next one, for deadlift, I did not max out on deadlift, which is why you have 600 across and just the asterisk. Deadlift was feeling pretty good. This was 585. It felt really good. I feel like I could have hit 605, but I just like, I didn't have time to recover and like make really high attempts, and now I'm like deconditioned, so I don't want to go for it. This is 585. I didn't miss a single attempt while deadlifting. You know, I'm pretty comfortable just operating off of a 600, 605 max, which brings me to a super total of, if I did the math correctly before, on the previous video I recorded, but the sound was off, that the super total is 2115. I will double check the math before I post, but it's nice to get over 2100. I think I've just binked 2100 once before, and I believe this is 2115, which is over kind of comfortably, and so that feels pretty nice. Definitely coming in with the plus like 50 overall. A lot of that is coming from the squat with the 30-pound PR. And so, okay, that's super total. And the reason I like super total training, where you train both powerlifting and weightlifting, is because I think both are incomplete representations of strength. You know, with the powerlifting, you only train like this slow, static strength, and it doesn't have any of the explosiveness, which is a component to like being strong, in my estimation. And the weightlifting, you don't train any of the static stuff. It's just highly technical, highly explosive, and sure, you'll have like, you'll be strong if you're, the carryover from weightlifting to powerlifting is much better than the other way around. But I think both of these are incomplete, and I've talked about this before, because strength isn't just like this perfectly symmetric, like feet are lined up type of affair. You know, in the real world, often strength is you're asymmetrically loaded. You know, if you're taking a step forward, you're asymmetrically loaded. Just real life is just asymmetrically loaded. And so a real test of strength should include asymmetric strength, and that's why I do one-arm snatch and bench press. There's a lot of other people who do kind of weird lifts, and they do a ton of weird lifts. And what I've tried to do is I've tried to identify the best representations of strength in the old-timey strongman lifts, and then I kind of just do that and just accessories for that, which I think kind of sets me apart from a lot of the other old-timey strongman type guys who do like the bench press and the one-arm snatch. Let's take a look at the one-arm snatch that I managed to put up. I thought I was going to hit 165 with each arm. I managed to repeat my or set a new PR with my left of 160. I was feeling really good early on in the cycle. This is just an incredibly inconsistent lift. You know, it's you have to like really bink, like hitting the correct spot. You know, it's really easy to miss light weights and warm-ups. This is 160, which is, I've hit this twice in this training cycle. I think I can do it in slow motion, just for a quick look, because it kind of happens fast as a lift. And you'll notice like I'm pulling this I'm over pulling quite a bit, and when I say that, I'm pulling it really far back, which is just unnecessary and just an indication that I have a lot more, I should be trying to jump under it more, but that I can probably do more than this if just the stars align in terms of my positioning, which they often don't because it's a hard lift to be consistent on. Especially you're training at both arms. Like for snatch, you're training at just one snatch. For this one, you're training both arms, or each of the arms individually, so you need double the attempts to be like the same level of technical skill, is kind of like one way to think about it. But yeah, this one doesn't look as nice as my other 160, but this is my more recent one. And then let's take a look at finally another really big surprise in my bench press PR. Going in, I was actually feeling really bad about bench press. I did a bunch of like bench press plus the negatives, which I felt really didn't pay off because when I came to try and doing heavy singles, they just felt ungodly heavy. They felt so heavy, and I was like, oh my god, I made a mistake in deciding my training doing this bench press plus negative business. I only think I predicted I was going to hit 180 because my left arm was pretty good. 180 with the left and 190 with the right, but I wasn't very confident with the 190, and the reason I just gave the 190 is I was like just predicting a 5-pound PR, just because I have to say I think I'll get stronger, but I really thought I was going to hit 185. And then I somehow managed to pull out a 195-pound bench press, which I was very, very, very pleased with. If you look, I actually look happy at the end of this lift, which is quite rare for any of my videos. Like, I never look happy after hitting a lift. I was happy after the squat. I was really happy after the bench press. And so, yeah, I was very excited to have hit that. The bench press, a lot of it is about hand strength and wrist strength, more so than like your ability to actually press, because the weight is all loaded it's not loaded by your muscle, it's loaded by your bones, because when you start the lift, you're trying to like get your elbow on top of your hip, basically, and have the loading go straight down into your hip and not be supported by the muscle. And then once you like bend down, you're trying to avoid as much as possible using muscle. So anyways, this was like my training cycle for a Megatotal of 2470, almost 2500. I'm hoping to hit 2500 next training cycle. But that's how the training cycle went, and now I'm kind of, goofing off a little bit in the gym, trying a few new things, and preparing for a November challenge I'm going to do, which I'm going to keep a secret what exactly I'm going to do, but this is kind of what I'm doing right now, is prep for that, in terms of trying to get my conditioning right for it. And then, so yeah, if you got to the end of the video, feel free to do the YouTube algorithm stuff, and have a good day.